Hello, hello. Welcome. This is Pastor Larry with Let's Talk Marriage. Welcome once again. Greetings in the name of my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Let us get started on today. Hey, all right. My topic on today is how I met my soulmate. I'm going to get right on into it. We meet our soulmates in different places. Some of you might have met your soulmate in church. Some might have met your soulmate on your job or school or what have you. But you had to meet your soulmate somewhere. Sometimes people introduce folks, they'll be just right for you. And then they bring the folks over there, and then it'd be a hot mess. Or sometimes you might get catfished by somebody that pretend to be somebody else and they're not. But I was fortunate enough to meet my soulmate. I had just came out of a divorce, so it was like a year or so after I came out of a divorce. So I was like, well, Lord, I need a spouse, or I need a soulmate. And I was going over to one of the small malls in near Chicago, and I see this young lady in the store there. She's just sitting there. I guess she was supposed to be working, but it looked like she was just standing there to me. But anyway, so she seems like a nice young lady. So I never said that because I don't like to bother people when they're working or anything. So, a little time passed again, and I saw her walking outside, or coming inside or outside. I forget exactly what it was. And then I just spoke to her. I said, "How you doing?" And she said, "How you doing?" And that was the second time I saw her. And then the third time is when I introduced myself. I saw her. She was walking over to the bus stop over in Forest Park, Illinois. I never forget it. And I had a car at the time. So what I did is I parked my car in the parking lot near the mall, because I saw her walking over to the bus stop. So I walked over to the bus stop and introduced myself. And, when you meet folks, please don't come with nothing phony, or you ain't got to do nothing grand. And who's hand? You ain't got to do all that. What's up, mama? No, you ain't got to do all that. Let me talk to you, shout it. No, I didn't do all that. Only thing I said was, "Hey, how you doing?" That's all I said. And I sat down at the bus stop, and she was waiting on the bus. So I said, "Oh, this bus looks like it's going to be running late." And she said, "Oh, no, it's never late because it connects with the train, and and for folks getting on and off the train." And I said, "Well, it's going to be late today." So we were sitting there and for a little while, and I got a chance to talk with her. And, I told her, introduced her, asked her where she was from, and she said, "I'm from Mississippi." I was like, "Oh, you can't be from Mississippi," because she didn't have an accent and nothing, like the Mississippi people. She didn't sound like that. And I told her, we got to talking and things. And I asked her out to dinner. And when I asked her out to dinner, we went out to dinner at the time. I forgot it might have been one of the Walgreens restaurants. I think it was Wags or something like that, that we went to. And doing our meeting, because when you meet your soulmate, you're gonna know right away it's just something. There's a connection there, and we had that connection. And sometimes you're not gonna go with your connection or your first impression of people. Sometimes your first impression can be wrong, but a lot of times your first impression is right most of the time. So what I did is when we were talking and everything, I for some reason I said, yeah, you gonna be my wife like that. She's like, oh, you're out of your mind, because I didn't even know her. She didn't know me, and I because I felt that connection, and I felt comfortable enough to say that without feeling too crazy. And so when I said that, it dawned on me that I was right. That she is, when I said she's going to be my wife, and and it's been over 32 years later. Even though she told me no at the time, she's like, "No, you must be crazy." So I asked her on the second date, and that second date was I asked her to go to church with me. So I picked her up from church, and she had a child, a baby. I think he was almost one or one. I don't remember. And so when I went over to the house to pick her up, her parents and all were there, and then I kind of put my foot in my mouth because I when I saw her father, I was like, "Oh, is your dad from Africa?" And she's like, "No." I was like, "Why'd you say that, Larry? Why'd you say that?" And then she brought her son over to me, and you know how people say when your kids accept people, they have to be all right, because kids can pick up when people ain't no good. Because as soon as they see them, they just start crying, and then you have to give them back and all that. But she let me hold her son because she ran in to do something. Like she probably was testing me. Probably said, "Let me see how my son received here." So while I was holding her son, he started laughing and stuff like he had already knew me, and then when she came out and she got him back, and then we drove on to church, and then when we got to church, my bishop's wife said, she pulled me to the side and said, "That's the one." I was like, "Oh, okay," because I had already knew that, but it was like a confirmation when she said, "That's the one." And that was how we met, and we wasn't apart for a minute after that. We saw each other every day, and we talked on the phone. "You hang up, no, you hang up, no, I hang up." I'd be falling asleep, still on the phone. And then we a few months or so after that, we got married. No, first of all, she came back to me after we had, got to know each other and everything. And she said, "You know that question you asked me before?" I played crazy now. "Oh, what you doing, man?" She was like, "Don't play crazy." I was like, "Yeah, I know." And she said, "Yeah." The answer is yes. So we got married. I got that little old ring. It was a little ring. When you first get married, you had that little tiny ring. But after our anniversary, I upgraded it for her. But anyway, while I'm talking about the ring, ladies, when you have somebody that cares about you and they're willing to go the distance, they're willing to do anything you can call them in the middle of the night. They'll come running to help you. If you got a flat tire, they'll come and change your tire, and and pick you up from the train station if you miss your train or what have you. That's when you have to realize that that's the person for you, the ones that has your back. Because a lot of times y'all young ladies, you be looking for the what y'all call the thug. No. If you're looking for a serious relationship, please don't get involved with no thug. Because if you involved with a thug, more than likely more than likely he got other little honeys to the side. So you have to, sometimes you got to give that nerd a chance, because you never know what that nerd going to turn out to be. Because I know a lot of guys that were just as nerdy as they can be, and they turn out to be professional men, great fathers, and they knew how to treat their wives. So you can't judge, because we have a bad habit, male and females, of judging people based on how they look. You see, I just happen to got the looks and all the personality together, so I was satisfied with that. But we judge people based on what they look, how they build, But there's nothing wrong with that. But make sure that there's other qualities that come along with that. You can't just judge a person based on what they look like, because what you'll do is you'll end up with someone that thinks they prettier than you is, they in the mirror more than you are, and got them little secret phone calls. They don't want you to look at their phone, and you don't want to go through all that, because in this day and age, especially African American women, it's hard to find a good brother. Let me repeat that. In this day and age, African American women, it's hard to find a good brother. And the good brothers are so rare that everybody is looking for a good brother. That's why you see so many interracial couples, because when somebody is good, somebody's gonna they're gonna attract people. So when you see somebody and you just because their brother don't have a suit on and he looking rough, their brother could be making six figures. He just that's the type of work he does. So we can't judge a book by the cover. When the Lord sent me my soulmate, again, I was blessed to have the looks and all that, and the brains and all that in one package. But sometimes it's not going to always be like that. You have to give people a chance. And a lot of y'all women, y'all don't give these brothers a chance. You want the one that you looking at his car and stuff. Now, if my wife was looking at that, when I first met my wife, she was looking at the car I was driving at. It would never happen. You know how they have them new cars now that you pull up at the light and it shut off, and then when you put your foot on the accelerator, start back up. I had one of them cars before they even existed. I had one of them stop and go cars. It was a Pinto. It was a Ford, and the one was a Buick that was stop and go. I pull up at the light. I had to put it in park, because if I left it in drive, it would shut off. So I invented that. Yeah, with the car I had, I invented that the economic car. But you know what? Don't judge people by the way they look. Judge them by the content of their character, their heart. If they got some heart, they was willing to work hard, and don't be taking advantage of each other. Make sure you tell each other that you love each other every day. I make a point of telling my wife that I love her every day. Because life is so short. And when you have these little squabbles, make sure you crush it. Now, don't drag it out when you still mad at him. It's 2 days later, y'all still mad, walking by in the kitchen, rolling out each other. Life's too short for that. You ain't got time for that. Anybody got time for that? So make sure that you're working together, studying the Bible together, whatever it takes to keep your household together. Because you know what, your household is based on the wife being happy. If you have a happy wife, there's old saying is, you have a happy wife, you have a happy life. Because if the wife is happy, everybody in the household is in a good mood. You ever see the mama in a bad mood, then the kids get in a bad mood, they be around there, oh, mama in a bad mood, mama mad, you know. They won't, then they start fighting among each other and things of that nature. Yeah, they go to work, go to school mad, the husband goes to work mad, you know. It's just, you know, keep the peace in the family. Show the love, you know, just like when I met my soulmate. It you know, it was an awesome experience. It was exciting, and what I did to get her, you know, the kindness I showed, opening the car doors, the doors for her, and things like that. I still do that. You know, some people do things until they get the person. Then when they get the person, they just get lackadaisical. They won't open the car door for them, and you know, things I did to, you know, things you did to get your husband or things you did to get your wife. Keep doing it throughout your marriage. And if any of you watching this video or watch the video, put down, I would like for you to put down where you met your spouse. Just put down the place you met your spouse. Some of the answers is going to be interesting. I met my wife at the bus stop. Let's see where you met your spouse. And again, this is Pastor Larry signing off. We had a good time over the weekend. My wife and I, we took a little excursion out of town with the family, but it was still a lot of fun. So make sure you keep everything going in the household and keep everything alive. Until we meet again, this is Pastor Larry with Volume 5, How I Met My Soulmate. God bless you.